Hi everyone, in this video we are going to solve a problem. The problem name is max points on a line and the question number is 149. It is a hard level problem, but once you know the logic, you will say definitely it should be a medium or easy level problem. So guys, let's understand the question first. What this question say? Given an array of points where point of I is xi, yi, that means a coordinate, x-axis and y-axis coordinate, represent a point on xy plane, return the minimum number of points that lie on the same straight line. So basically the question says that we are given with some points. So in this example, you can see we have 3 points. We have to find a straight line which contain the maximum point. So in this example, you can see that we have this straight line, right? And this contain 3 points. That means we are going to return 3. But in the next example, we are given with a 6 point. And in this 6 point, we found one line which contain the 4 points. You guys can see that there are many other line as well. You can see this is also a line, right? But it contain only 3 points. But this line contain 4 points. So we are going to return 4. I hope you understood this. Just we have to find a line which contain the maximum point. Now how we can find? Let's move to the logic part. So I'm going to write here logic. So guys, we are going to use the simple term that is slope. I believe you must know what is slope. If you don't, then let me tell you how we can find this. There is a formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And what is this y1 and y2? Y1 and y2 are the coordinates. So let's say we want to find a slope of two coordinates, that is 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 2. Fine. So how we can find? This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So we can put in this formula and we can find the slope, right? And why we are finding slope? See guys, we have two coordinate 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2 and 3 comma 3 in first example, right? So we can see that guys, if the slope of these two coordinate and slope of these two coordinate are the same, then we can say that these three coordinate lie in the same plane. So that's thing we are going to use in this problem. We are going to find the slope of every coordinate. We are going to use a hash map, or we can say dictionary in Python. In this dictionary, we are going to say just find the slope. So 1 comma 1 and 2 comma 2 give a slope of what? So we can say 2 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1, that is 1. So they are given one slope. So we can say in one slope we can put a value initially 1. So that means we have a slope 1, and how many points come in that slope? We have 1 points that come in one slope, right? Then we will move 1 comma 1 with 3 comma 3, and again we say that 3 minus 1 divided by 3 minus 1 means y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. As we know that this is x2, this is y2, and this is x1, this is y1, right? So we have done this, and again we are getting 2 divided by 2, that means 1, right? So we can see that if 1 is already present in our hash map, then increment it. So we can see now with the slope of 1 we have 2 point, right? And here you guys can see that we have 3 point, but we are taking 1 point less, right? Because 1 point is for comparing with this. So this point will remain same. We are not going to use in hash map. That means we at the end we have to return result plus 1. That means answer plus 1, because 1 point we are missing in our hash map. Fine. So we can see that now once we completed this loop, we can say that in a hash map we have a maximum value, that is 2. In this example we have only one slope, so we can say that the maximum value is 2. All right. Then we are going to do same with this 2 comma 2 value. We will find all the slopes with 3 comma 3, with 1 comma 1, and same we are going to do with 3 comma 3. Once we have done this, we are going to see the maximum value. Whatever the maximum value we are going to have, that thing we are going to reserve, but plus 1 we are going to reserve. We are going to add 1 into that as well, because we are using a slope with two coordinate, but we are adding only one coordinate, right? We are not adding both the coordinates. So we can say that after we got a result, we return result plus 1. I hope you understood this. If you didn't understood, don't worry, we are going to implement this logic. And definitely once you implement the logic by your own or by seeing this video, you will definitely get a clear idea. So let's move to the implementation part and see how we can implement this logic. So guys, first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to create a variable, that is, let's say answer, which is going to be written at the end. And after that, we are going to calculate the length of this point. So we can say length of points. And guys, if length is less than or equal to 2, that means if n is less than or equal to 2, that means we can return n. And why? Let's say there are only 2 points, then we can say that they can create a straight line by joining themselves. And that means we have at max 2 points in a straight line. So we are going to return n. And if it is only 1 point, that means that is the only single straight line. So we are going to return 1. So that was the reason. Now guys, what we are going to do, we are going to traverse our loop. So we are going to say for I in range, let me write here range, length of, or we have already calculated, so range of n. And after that we are going to create our dictionary. So we are going to say dictionary is going to be empty by default, and let's take a default dict. So I'm going to say collections dot default dict, and it is going to take integer by default value, that means 0. After that we are going to traverse our loop by the next particular index. So we are going to say for j in range I plus 1 to n. Fine. And here guys, we are going to find first of all x1, x2 and y1 and y2, right? So we are going to say x1 comma y1 is going to be equal to points of I comma 0 and points of I comma 1, right? So we can say points of I comma 1. Fine. We are going to copy all these things, and here we are going to paste it. Here just we are going to replace I with a j. So okay, and here as well. Fine. And we are going to rename this. We are going to say x2 and y2, right? Now guys, we have x1 and x2, y1 and y2. We are going to find a slope, but before that we have to also check whether x2 minus x1 is 0 or not. If it is 0, that means we can't divide it, right? So we can say if x2 minus x1 is 0, that means they are same. Then we can say that we are going to create a different variable. So 0 by default take a value. Let's say hello, right? Or let's give it a value 0. Fine. Now guys, we are going to say dictionary of 0 is going to be plus equal to 1. Fine. Now guys, if it is not the case, that means they are not equal to 0, then we can say find the slope. So we can say else slope, this is going to be equal to y2 minus y1. So I'm going to say y2 minus y1 and divide by x2 minus x1. So let me write x2 minus x1. Fine. And here we are going to say dictionary of slope plus equal to 1. All right. And guys, now once we have done this, we are going to find the maximum value. So we can say that max value is going to be equal to max of dictionary comma values, dictionary dot values. Fine. So now guys, once we are done with this, we are going to also do this whole thing if our dictionary exists. So we can say if dictionary contain any key, then only we can do this whole, right? So we can say find this max value if dictionary exists, otherwise don't find it. Once we find max value, we are going to update our answer as well. So we are going to say answer is going to be maximum of answer comma max value. Fine. And once we are done this, we are going to return our answer. But as I have already told you, we are going to return answer plus 1 because we are finding a slope with two variable first time, but we are considering only one point in a dictionary. So we can say return answer plus 1. Let's quickly run this and see whether it's working fine or not, or we have any error. So you guys can see that it accepted both the test cases. So let's try to submit this code. So let me submit this. And here guys we go. You can see that it's successfully accepted. So that's all in this video. I hope you learned something new in this video. If you learned something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video.